Into the game, it had to be satisfying for you guys to be able to run the ball, to kill the clock. That's got to be fun for a running back group to be able to do that.
It was awesome to have an opportunity to go out there and seal the game or finish the game with Pacheco, with McKinnon. But it was a collective group. I mean, it doesn't work with the guys without the guys up front and the quarterback, and obviously coach calling and dialing up those plays. So it was a great opportunity to be successful.
We've talked to you a bunch of times about Isaiah and his excitability, right? He loves to play the game. He loves to run hard. He looked about as excited as anyone I ever saw in my life on just a first down run after that game. You never want to take that away from him, but can he get a little too high sometimes on just a regular old run?
No, the big thing with Coach Reed and being around him for almost 20 years for me is that he allows you to be yourself and let your personality show. And Pop does a tremendous job of letting his personality show. And you don't want to take that away from anybody, any player, because then you're losing who they are as a player as well. So it's a fine line, but he knows where that line is, and we all understand it. And he's towing the line, but he's doing a great job for us.
Did you guys see that kind of personality on tape when he was in college, or was it something that you kind of learned as he got to OTAs? Because he's been pretty much like that since he got here, right?
Well, when I had the opportunity to watch his tape, it was obviously the Rutgers tape, and he was a physical runner in that, and it showed speed at the combine with the 4.3 running. But I got an opportunity to interview him at the combine as well, and just sitting there talking face-to-face with him. He brought that same kind of enthusiasm and energy and juice to our little meeting. And from that moment, that's the guy I want, and that's the guy we want here to help us move forward. So it was awesome to see.
Greg, both of your top two backs have been productive recently. What problem does that present in opposing defense when you come at them with two guys that are really different players like you do?
I wouldn't say they're different players. As a running back group, our job is to be able to run and to be able to catch, and I think all the guys that are involved in this running back room can do that. It's just whose number is getting called and when, and taking advantage of those opportunities when they do. And for the most part, these past few weeks, McKinnon, Pop, they had opportunities to get in there and do their thing, and they've taken advantage of those opportunities.
That last drive in Denver, when you guys were in the 4-minute mode and you ended up running out the clock, those guys were both kind of coming in and out of the game. How did you sort of decide in the moment, okay, it's Isaiah in here that one time or McKinnon? How do you make that decision?
It's actually a juggling act that I get help with from Coach Reed and Coach EB and myself, and we sort of just figure out, we understand what certain guys do well in certain situations, and we try to put them in those situations to be successful. And I think we did a tremendous job of that, of putting them in those situations, and then those guys took advantage of them and sealed the deal for us. So it was great.
Take us back through the play that when McKinnon caught the kind of flip pass from Patrick. What was your view of that from the sideline, and what did you see on tape afterwards that those guys were just kind of on that page together?
The same thing y'all saw. My view was like, wow, that was pretty sweet. But McKinnon ran to the flat and got out there, and the defense started to press Pat. As running backs, we really emphasize getting to the flat and sitting down out there and being available for the quarterback. And then that's just Pat being Pat, having the awareness and eyes downfield and being able to see that and get it to him however he did, and then Jet finding a way to go catch it and then taking it 56 yards. So it was a great play by them. We practice as a running back room and from a quarterback standpoint of detailing our work and being at the right place at the right time, and good things happen when you do that. So it was great.
What's more satisfying as a coach, to see a play that's like perfect from the get-go, or a play like that where it kind of breaks down and they make something happen?
Winning is just winning. That's satisfied as coaches. So however you do it.
Sorry, last two, PJ and Adam.
So, Coach, a lot's been made about the screen game, because of the plays last week. How do you teach your running backs to navigate that? I know there's a lot of blocking, but how do you teach them to navigate that space?
Well, it's some small details that I don't want to disclose because I don't want everybody else doing it against us. But Pop and Jed and Clyde and Rojo, Melvin, Ely, Bert, all those guys, we all work together and do the same thing, and they get the same coaching And then it's just about having a good feel for getting out into space and understanding how the blocks are going to be set up and then executing. So those guys do a great job of taking the coaching that's being given and then putting it out on tape and executing the play at a high level.
Coach, we've talked a lot about that last run there by Pacheco. What kind of confidence does that give the running back room and then you as a positions coach to know that your guys can finish the game in a tough environment like that and being able to, because the knock on the Chiefs has been able, not being able to run the football, but you guys have been able to do that and you close the game out. What kind of confidence does that give you guys?
The room itself is confident in itself from day one. And I'm a confident individual as a coach. Whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm coaching, whatever's asked of me to do, it's about putting in the time and the effort and the work to be successful when you get out on the field. So the confidence never waned. It's not higher or lower based off what has happened. We are confident and we expect to get the job done. As I've said before, the standard is the standard, and that's what we expect to get done. So it's not I don't want to pat us on the back or pat myself on the back. It's what we do and what we're supposed to do. And I got the guys in that room that will get it done.
Thanks, everybody.
Right.